Before I get started, let me say this, that if I say something that's a little different than you believe, or use a word that's different than you, please get past that. Because I guarantee you my sole intention today is to love you and empower you so you can believe in your own magnificence and your ability to create the reality that you want. And I have to be careful when I talk about this, because when I got into healing, it wasn't because I was in unity. It wasn't because I was in science of mind or understood, new thought. I was in the hospital and they were telling me, here's the box you're going to fit in. And I did not get out of it by, holding my palms up and being receptive. I got out because I was bigger and tougher than any of the challenges that faced me. So I have to be careful when I tell my story not to fall back into that state of mind that I had when I was battling my disease. When I was 22, I hurt my back. I was working construction between college quarters and ruptured a disc. And so I did a year of chiropractors and osteopaths and physical therapy, and the pain just got more and more severe. So finally I agreed, and I had a spinal fusion. During that surgery, my spine became infected with the E. coli bacteria. And E. coli is a bad bug. Over the next year, that orthopedic surgeon did 4 more surgeries to get rid of the infection. And every time he went in, it was just worse. It had spread. So finally, after the 5th surgery, counting the fusion, he said, look, this is way out of my league. So I have submitted your case to the University of Washington Medical Center, a big teaching hospital in Seattle. That's where I lived. And they took my case. So anyway, I went in there. So the doctor that was assigned to me was this whiz kid from England, supposedly one of the top 5 orthopedic surgeons in the world. And he said, I don't want to go in and do this debridement, cutting out this infection until we know the extent of it. So they did tests. For 2 weeks, they did tests. They poked me in places I didn't even know I had places. Finally, they got good x-rays, and he said, I'm going to have the meeting with some other doctors, and we'll come in tonight and tell you what we're going to do, and then tomorrow we'll do this surgery. So my wife and I and our 2-year-old daughter were waiting for them to come in, and all of a sudden the door to my private room opened up, and in walked 6 surgeons. And I'm here to tell you, if it's good news, there's one person to tell you. And if it's bad news, they tell you by committee. The guy in the lead was this orthopedic surgeon from England. The guy behind him was the head of the Department of General Surgery. The fellow behind him was head of the Department of Infectious Disease, and behind them were the 3 top residents. And this is what they said. They took about 45 minutes, but I'm going to condense it. This infection is no longer just in your spine. It's spread. It's throughout your pelvic area, it's throughout your abdomen, and it's followed both of your sciatic nerves into your thighs. And we have to stop this infection now before it becomes even more life-threatening. So tomorrow we're going to take you down to the operating theater, and the general surgeon is going to start from the front. And I'll tell you exactly what they said. They said, we're going to start just above your penis and come up around your belly button and go almost up your sternum. We're going to open all of that up, cut out all the infected tissues, separate your organs out of the way, and when we get down to the spine, the orthopedic surgeons will chisel and scrape the infection out of your spine. When we're done with that, the orthopedic surgeons, who are going to roll you over, and the orthopedic surgeons are going to start from the back. They're going to start just above your rectum and go up to mid-back. We're going to open all that up, cut out the infected tissue, chisel and scrape the infection out of your spine. When we're done with that, 2 teams of surgeons are going to open up both of your buttocks and follow your sciatic nerves into your thighs. When we're done with that, we're going to tip you up on the end and come in between your scrotum and rectum and open all that up. They were going to gut me like a dead deer. When he got done, he sat down on my bed and reached out and took my hand. And that's when I knew I was in trouble, because this guy was not a touchy-feely doctor. And he said, I know how radical this must seem, Terry, but we have to stop it. When we're done with the debridement, the antibiotics that we do have and the other procedures, we're pretty sure we can stop it from spreading anymore. The bad news is we can virtually guarantee you are going to lose the use of your left leg. There's a good chance you're going to lose some of the mobility of your right leg. You're probably going to lose the control of your bowels and your bladder, and there's a good chance you're going to end up sexually impotent. That was just before my 24th birthday. When they left, the resident who'd been with me for the 2 weeks of tests sat on my bed and held me. My wife was on one side with our daughter in between us, and he was on the other side because I was just shaking. When we got done, he said, Terry, we don't know. When I finally calmed down, he said, we don't know what's going to happen. We've never done anything like this. We've never seen anything like this. But what we do know is you cannot expect to come out of this ordeal whole. And that's where the name of my book, The Hell I Can't, came from. They went in the next day, and when they opened me up in the abdomen, they found the lower end of the colon was just perforated. And E. coli just eats things. So I came out of that. They didn't do the big one. They just pulled my bowels out and clipped them and sewed them to my abdomen. They said, you're going to go to the bathroom in a plastic bag the rest of your life. A month later, they went in and did the big one. I was on the table for 13 and a half hours, took 27 units of blood. And the reason they stopped is they were losing me. Anyway, it goes on and on and on and on and on. I had that infection for 11 years. I had 27 major surgical procedures on my spine and abdomen. I got letters from some of the finest doctors in the world to my insurance company that said that this infection that Terry has is not curable, and he will be left with significant permanent disability. In a couple of months, I'm going to be 77 years old. I don't have a bad back. I'm not recovering from a bad back. I don't have a colostomy anymore, and I don't have any limitations because I healed my body. Sometimes people come to me and they smile and say, don't you mean God healed your body? And I look them right in the eye and say, no, I don't. My God didn't make me sick, and my God didn't make me well. My God simply communicated to me, I adore you just the way that you are, and you pick the game, and I will play with you there. It took a long time to get well. There was a lot of trauma in the middle of it. But I stand here as absolute proof that this philosophy that we talk about in unity and science of mind, in new thought, is the truth. And that is that one person with God is a majority. And what Jesus said when he said, all things are possible if only you believe. That wasn't some little cutesy thing. That's the basis for metaphysics and the great teachings of the masters around the world. For 50 years, I have been teaching in science of mind and unity classes and various workshops, teaching people how to use the tools of choice. Because remember, unity is the practical application of the teachings. It's not just theory, it's the application that makes unity difference. And what I've been doing for 50 years is assisting people to understand how they can use these tools to begin to experience their own magnificence. And from that magnificence, step boldly into making their dreams come true. And remember, as we move through this challenging time together, you don't have to figure it out all at once, because you're not alone. You have David. You have this marvelous center. You have your spiritual family that you can rely on and count on. And with that, I invite you to close your eyes and allow my words and my intention to give you hope. You are not alone. Your spiritual family is praying for you. We are right now sending you love and peace. Feel that. You are not alone. You are not alone. People all over the world are praying for you. They are sending you healing. They are sending you peace. And they are sending you hope. Be open to that. Feel it. You are not alone. The infinite presence and power of God is who you are. Take a moment right now and feel this infinite divine presence. Feel it as you. Take a moment and feel this infinite power as you. You are not alone. For just a moment, allow your mind to move you past doubt and fear. Feel the love and peace of belonging here with your spiritual family. Feel that love and peace. And remember always, you are not alone. We have each other. Open your eyes. You are magnificent, and you are more powerful than you ever imagined.